Start. So, a very good afternoon to all of you. Today, there is a lecture number 3 on electrical machine design. And in my previous lectures, I will discuss with you about the design of electrical machines. We were discussed that machines are basically of three types: generator, motor, and transformer. And all the three machines are worked on Faraday law of electromagnetic induction. And according to the Faraday law of electromagnetic induction, there are two major requirements. Number one is magnetic flux. For that thing, we are required magnets. These magnets may be a permanent magnets or a temporary magnets. And second most important thing, that is the conductor. So accordingly, the principle of the generator, the principle of the motor, and the principle of the transformer, these machines are start working. And the working principles, the construction, and all that we are discussed in our electrical machine subject. But in design, we are focused about how these machines can be designed. And in my previous lecture, that is a lecture number 2, we are but discussed about what are the main points that you should kept in mind while designing a particular machine. And you seen that we are concentrate about the major 10 points. These 10 points should be kept in mind while designing a particular machine. Now today, what we have to do, we will start with the first machine. And this machine is basically known as a transformer. You know, a transformer, as you are were already taught by the teachers, that a transformer is a static device that can alter the voltage, that can change the voltage from one level to the another level, but keeping the power remain constant. We have step up transformer, we have step down transformer, we have core type transformers, we have shell type transformers, we have power transformers, we have distribution transformers. So these are all the classifications of the transformer. And one or the another transformer has certain things on them. Now we have to design a transformer. And I had already tell you that when you get a design, first of all, the client's requirement is one of the most important thing that you should kept in mind. That what the client will require. The client will require a power transformer, the client will require a step up transformer, the client will require core type transformer, the client will require a single phase or the three phase transformer. So depending upon the requirement of the client, you start working as a design engineer. And after that, you propose a design that this is the transformer, you can take it a transformer and then installed on a particular area. And by adopting these techniques, the efficiency is like this thing, the current rating is this thing, the voltage rating is this thing, and so many factors. So now today onwards, we are discussing about transformers, how the transformers can be designed, what are the various parameters, what are the various factors that you should kept in mind while designing the transformer. Now if you see a transformer, this is the basically the slide where I represent you about the various parts of the transformer. The parts of the transformer are metallic core, frame, winding, tank, tap changer, bushings and terminals, radiator wings, cooling tubes, breather, buckle relays, expulsion valves, and the control panels. So these are basically, you can say that, the internal or the external parts of the transformer. And any of the transformer that you can take, these are all are the parts of this transformer. So I have one more picture with you. This previous picture is basically you have only the indication that what are the various parts of the transformer. Now if you see on this picture represents about detailed analysis of the parts of the transformer. That is where the conservator is, where the cooling tubes are, is where is the tank, wheel, and all that. So this is you can say that a complete layout of the transformer. And you see there are number of parts of this transformer, n number of parts of this transformer. So when you combine all these parts of the transformer, you are getting a single phase or are you getting a three phase transformer. Now here, why I'm showing you these two slides, because for designing of a particular machine, for example, for designing of a particular transformer, you must know that what are the various parts of the transformer, and what are the various design parameters that you should kept in mind while designing a particular part of the transformer. Like when I go on my another lectures, you will see, first of all, the frame design can be calculated, the winding details will be calculated, the leakage reactance will be calculated. So first of all, you should know that what are the various parts and where the design has to be made. So that is why these two pictures are really get beneficial for you, so that you can get an idea that what are the various parts of this transformer. Clear? So up till that stage, anybody having any doubt, he or she can ask me, or shall I continue next? I will give you all the presentations on your WhatsApp group. You can see these presentations. It will be quite beneficial for you for the understanding. And moreover, I have already told you that I can also put this video on a YouTube. You can also I can provide you the link of the YouTube video. So you can again watch this video many times so that you can get a better knowledge about this today's lecture. So anybody having any doubt related to the up till stage, okay, otherwise I will continue. Yeah, shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Fine, fine. So next is the construction of a transformer. Now for you people, what I have do, I will take one video from a YouTube, and this video will be played to all of you. I request to all the students to please watch this video carefully, because when you watch this video, you can get an idea what are the various parts of the transformer that I had already explained to you in my previous slide, but actually where these parts are to be located, ट्रांसफॉर्मर में ये पार्ट्स कहाँ कहाँ होते हैं, so you can get an idea. So I request again all of you to please watch your video carefully.
Construction of three-phase transformer. We are going to see the construction of three-phase transformer. Laminated and well-insulated iron cores are used for the completion of the magnetic circuit and to reduce iron and eddy current losses. Laminated sheets are assembled in a series manner and to form the laminated core. The thickness of a core is kept 0.5 millimeter. The windings are wounded in the lid. Insulations are used between the high voltage and low voltage windings to prevent the short circuit. The primary and secondary winding are placed for the transformation of power. These may be wound in cylindrical or sandwich types. High voltage insulated sheet. The tank or box protects all the windings and cores from the atmospheric effect. The three-phase winding is inserted into the tank. The conservator is the drum, which is used as oil storage tank, and it is mounted on the top of the transformer. The oil level indicator is used to indicate the oil level in the conservator. A breather is used to prevent the transformer oil from the atmospheric pressure. Buchholz relay is installed between the transformer tank and conservator. Buchholz relay is a gas-actuated relay installed in oil-immersed transformers for protection against all kinds of faults. Buchholz relay detects the incipient faults at a stage much earlier than is possible with other forms of protection. The bushings provide proper insulation between live conductor and earthed tank. Explosion vent provides an exit path to the gases produced in the transformer due to all kinds of faults. Diaphragm is used to discharge excess pressure in the atmosphere when excess pressure is developed inside the transformer during loading. These are used for transformer cooling purpose. Temperature gauge is a thermometer which is mounted on the transformer to measure its temperature. Drain valve is used to drain oil from the transformer. Oil is used for cooling purpose. The oil used should not have a flash point less than 160 degrees Celsius. Oil filled in tank. The freezing point should not be higher than 15 degrees Celsius and its viscosity should be 30 degrees Celsius and 15 degrees Celsius.
So this is all about the construction of a transformer, and I think after watching this video you get an idea that what are the various parts of the transformer that you have to be get constructed. So after watching this video, I think as I had already tell you that you can get an idea how the transformer will be look like and what are the various parts of this transformer. Okay, so shall I continue next?
सर ये रिले का काम क्या होता है इसमें?
See, Vinayak, that we have explained you in earlier, later stage, beta, because now if I study about the relays, so you get a total diverted from the design point of view. So I will discuss with you on later on stage, but for your instance, because you have a curiosity to know about the relays, so I can tell you only that thing, this relay can be used in order to protect the transformer against the fault. So whenever there is fault occur in a transformer, so what happened, as I had already told you, when a fault will occur, due to that thing the fault current will increase, and when the fault current increase, the losses in a transformer is increase, and these losses are basically the heat losses due to which the oil present in the transformer tank gets evaporated. And when it starts, it gets evaporated, the Buckles relay is connected between the conservator and the oil tank. So what will happen, the valve of the Buckles relay get operated. So ultimately what will happen, this Bucker relay send the command to the circuit breaker, and the circuit breaker, what they have to, they disconnect the transformer from the supply line, so that when the fault occur, the transformer can be protected against this fault. Now how the actual working of the Buckles relay can be done, how its operation can be done, that we will discuss in your next semester or next subjects. Okay, so you get an idea that how these Bucker relays can operate and what do you mean by this Buckles relay. So simply you can understand that Bucker relay is basically an indicating device, and it is operate whenever a system is getting a fault or whenever the fault occur in a transformer. Clear, beta?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So shall I continue next?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in my lecture number 2, we will discuss about some important points must be considered while design point of view. In that case, I am not focused about what type of machine. Because in previous lecture, we are discussing only the generalized points to be kept in mind while design point of view. Now, particularly today, we will discuss what are the various points that you should kept in mind while design the transformer. So firstly, you should know what are the various types of transformer, because depending upon the type of transformer, the designing is to be made. The same designing is not applicable for a single phase or a three phase. The same designing is not applicable for a core type or a shell type, and this power type and a distribution type. So depending upon the transformer, your design approach will be different, your design technique will be different. So firstly, you should know what is the various types of the transformer. So the types of the transformer based upon construction, there are only two types of transformer, that is called as core type and shell type, that you had already taught in your previous semester, that is classification of the transformers. And based upon the application, we have distribution transformer. These distribution transformer can be used in grid stations in order to step down the voltage that is coming from generating stations. Number two is power transformer. These power transformers are generally installed in generating stations, and these transformers are generally step up transformer in order to step up the voltage so that it can be transmitted with the help of some transmission network. Number three, we have a special transformers, and these special transformers are basically CVTs, that is a constant voltage transformers. There we can be used for some instrumentation purpose or some measuring purpose. Number four, you have instrument transformer, and these instrument transformers are generally CT and PT, that is a current transformer and the potential transformer. And these two transformers are used in generating stations, grid stations, substation for measurement of the current and the voltage for a very, very high line. And last will be some electronics transformer. That electronics transformers are those transformers which are used in you can say that in electronic circuit. And you all know that electronics, in electronics the working voltage is very, very low. So when you require a AC supply having a voltage of 220 volt, and when you apply this 220 volt directly to the electronic device, it will get damaged. So firstly, the voltage that is 220 volt, it will be getting to step down, and by using that, transformers are called as your electronics transformers. So the first point, that when you have a design point of view consideration, you must know what is the types of the transformer. So basically on a design point of view, these are the major 7 classifications of the transformer, and there are 7 different techniques to design a particular transformer. So coming to the next part, that is the called as the range of efficiency of the transformer. Now this point should be very, very important point for a design point of view or for a design engineer, because whenever you get a design of a transformer and after that you can propose this design to actual implementation of a transformer, so after that your efficiency of the transformer is very, very low, then no client will take your design, nobody or no client will take your transformer. So whenever you get a design or you have a design idea, you should kept in mind that what is the maximum efficiency you can attain. And you can see that the efficiency of the transformer will be in the range of 94 to 95%. And transformer is only one of the machine among all other machines which has highest efficiency. That means whenever you have to design a transformer, your first and foremost criteria that the efficiency cannot be reduced below 94%, because if the efficiency is below 94%, that transformer is inefficient transformer, and moreover that transformer's design can never be, you can say that, taken by another client, and you can't never make a good design. So for a good design, your first and the foremost important thing, that efficiency should be lies between 94 to 99%. It should not below 94%. Clear? Now number 3, we have a transformer bank. A transformer bank is basically consist of 3 independent single phase transformers with primary and secondary windings connected either in a star or in a delta. That means whenever you get a single phase transformer and when you get a 3 single phase windings collaborated in a one bigger tank or a one bigger knob, the ultimate transformer so obtained is called as the 3 phase transformer, and that case it is called as the transformer bank. Clear? Shall I continue next?
Yes, sir.
सर इसके लिए बुक कौन सी लेनी है?
I will tell you on a later on stage. First of all, you discuss these slides, and after that I will tell you. Okay. The next will be the salient features of a distribution transformer. Now, what are the various features of a distribution transformer? And mind it, before discussing about the salient features of the distribution transformer, I can tell you the distribution transformer is a transformer that will be installed in your localities, that will be installed in substation, and that will be installed in grid station. And these type of transformers are step down transformer. That means whenever there is a distribution transformer word comes, you have an idea that it is a step down transformer. That means in case of step down transformer, your secondary voltage is always and always less than the primary voltage. So what are the various features? The number one is the distribution transformers will have low iron loss and a higher value of copper loss. This is the one of the most important feature of you can say that distribution transformer. That means whenever you get a design, you get an idea that you have a distribution transformer. In that case of distribution transformer, when after the designing, the final product will be available when you get on a testing mode and you see that the iron losses is greater than copper losses, iron losses is equal to copper losses, and iron losses is less than copper losses. So you should have a criteria that a distribution transformer iron losses will be less than the copper losses. Next will be the capacity of the distribution transformers will be up to 500 kVA. Distribution transformers will have plain welded tanks and provided with the cooling tubes or a radiator. And the fourth will be the leakage reactance, and the regulation will be very, very low. So you can say that these are the four and most important features that you should kept in mind while designing a distribution transformer. Now question is, what is a distribution transformer? That I have already tell you. A distribution transformer used as load center, that I had told you that distribution transformers are generally installed in grid station, substation, and it is the step down transformer to distribute the voltage to the standard services required for a consumer called distribution. So this is all about the distribution transformer. What do you mean by this distribution transformer, and what are the various features of a distribution transformer? Now based upon same thing we have, next will be, what is a power transformer? Now, as I have already explained in my classification slide, that the transformers are classified as power transformer and distribution transformer. So distribution transformers are step down transformer. It is connected to the load center and it can be used to distribute the power. In the same head, what is a power transformer? So the power transformers are those transformers which are used to step up the voltage, and these power transformers are generally installed in generating stations, because in generating stations, when we generate a power, we have to transmit the power, and we all know for the transmission of the power we are required a high voltage. So this high voltage can be achieved with the help of this power transformer. Clear? So in the same parameter, we have various factors to be considered for choosing the type winding of a core type transformer. So what are the various factors? The factors will be, number one, current density. Number two will be short circuit current. Number three will be temperature rise. Number four will be surge voltage. Number five will be impedance of the transformer. And number six will be the transportation facilities. So these are the 6 important points that you should keep in mind while designing a core type transformer. Clear? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, based upon one thing that you all know about the important points, and what about the important things that you should keep in mind while designing a particular transformer, and whether the transformer will be a single phase transformer, a 3-phase transformer, core type, or a shell type, or a power or a distribution transformer. So you will get an idea. Now you will start proceeding towards the design. And whenever you start proceeding to the design, you are required a certain track or a certain guideline on which you can start your working on the design. So that track or start guideline of designing a transformer is basically the output equation. The output equation of a single phase transformer and a 3-phase transformer. Now you see, for a single phase transformer, the output equation is Q, that is kV output, is equals to 2.22 F, that is frequency, BM, that is maximum flux density, and AI net iron area, KW space factor, AW is window area, and rho is called as the current density. And similarly, when you go for a 3-phase transformer, the same equation will exist, but only one difference, that instead of 2.22, there is a 3.33, and rest is all the values will be same. So you have to be drive this equation. How this output equation will come? What is the various factors on which this output equation will depend? You have to be drive it. And for examination point of view, this is one of the most important question that is frequently asked in university examinations, that is discussed the output equation of a single phase transformer, or discuss the output equation of a 3-phase transformer. So in our next lecture, I will discuss with you and get a derivation how this output equation will get. Now for now we have only, you have a guideline that how the transformer design will be carried out. So for the carry out of the transformer design, you should know a single phase or a three phase, and if it is a single phase, then you should use the output equation as 2.22, and if it is a three phase, then you should use a 3.33. Clear? And next will be the EMF per turn. So the equation of the EMF per turn is equal to ET is equals to K under root Q, where K is equals to root of 4.44 F into phi m upon 80 into 10 raised to power 3. So you see now the formulas will come, and based upon these formulas your design part will start. So very first step for the designing of transformer, we have an output equation, and based upon this output equation we will start. Now what are the various terms that are used in this output equation? I will discuss it on a later stage. I will discuss with the after some lectures. And what is the EMF per turn for the transformer? So from this slide you can say that, from the previous slides you can say that these are only the points considered to design a transformer, and from this slide your actual design will start. Okay, fine. So this is all about on today's lecture. So now in today's lecture, what you have to discuss, you are discussed about what is you mean by the transformer, the classification of the transformer, how the transformer can be classified, what are the various factors you should kept in mind while designing the transformer, and what is the output equation of a single phase transformer and a three phase transformer. And after that we have a EMF per turn. Now anybody having any doubt, he or she can ask me. Anybody having any doubt?
सर बुक कौन सी लेनी सर इसके लिए?
Just a minute.
पावर सर कांस्टेंट रहती है ना?
Yeah, Vinayak, please repeat your question. What is your question?
Sir, why these are called power transformers, but power remains constant, sir, because transformer is a constant power device.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we on the classification, based on a classification, the transformers are classified as power transformers as well as the distribution transformer. Now the question is, you are saying that power remain constant in all the transformers, whether it is a core type, shell type, power, distribution, and instrument. Any of the transformer, you should take the power remain constant. Only the terminology will be given to the power transformer is that thing, because the power transformers are those transformers which can be used to transfer the power from generating station to the grid station. It can be used to transfer the power. See, we have a Salal grid station, we have a Baglihar grid station. Now in a Salal grid station, in a Baglihar grid station, what will happen? The power will generate at a certain voltage level. Let us take an example of you can say that the Baglihar is generating about 900 megawatt power at 16.5 kV. Now if the same power will be transferred to the load center, to the grid center, without changing any voltage, what will happen? 900 megawatt will not receive at the grid station. So in order to get a maximum power will be available at the grid station, what we have to do? We have to step up the voltage. So the transformer are installed in the the transformers are installed in the generating station, and these generating stations are also called as the power stations or the powerhouses. That is why the transformers which are installed in the generating station or a power station or the powerhouses are termed as power transformers. Whereas when we receive the power at the grid station, we can receive the power and after that we can step down this power. So these transformers can be used as a grid station, and these power transformers can be used for the distribution purpose of only. That is why the transformers installed in the grid station are called as your distribution transformer. I think now you can get an idea ki how the power transformer is named, given like that thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank
fine.
you, sir.
Welcome. Or anybody having any doubt? Except from you can say that Vinayak has already put one question. If anybody having any doubt, he or she can ask me.
सर ये पॉइंट फिर से बताना, लास्ट में जो आपने बताया था.
जो आपका डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ट्रांसफॉर्मर होता है, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ट्रांसफॉर्मर हमारा ग्रिड स्टेशंस पे लगाया जाता है, और ग्रिड स्टेशंस क्या करते हैं? वो पावर को रिसीव करते हैं at a particular level, and after receiving the power at a particular level they can step down the power, and after stepping down they can distribute the power to the various localities. So the transformer that we are used in a grid station is used for distribution purpose only. That is why these transformers are called as distribution transformers, whereas the power transformers are those transformers which are used to step up the power, and it can be used to transmit the power from generating to the grid station. So the transformers which are installed in a powerhouse or a power station are called as the power transformers. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is all about today lecture. I hope you can better understand, you can get an idea how the transformer will work. I can put all the presentations along with the video on your WhatsApp group. May I request to all the students to please watch the video carefully. You can get an idea, and after that you can go through the slides, and in our next lecture at our scheduled time we will discuss and start how the designing of the transformer will be done. Clear?